Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you with a video on SummerSlam 2014, kind of right around the corner, right here, middle of August. John Cena versus Brock Lesnar in the big main event. Of course, it was announced on Monday Night Raw. Let me get out of the way that I think this is going to be one of the biggest SummerSlam matches we've done in a long time. I've been very critical on Brock Lesnar. Since he came in, he made a huge deal when the rumors were coming in that he was going to come back from UFC and re-debut in WWE. He came down the Raw after WrestleMania 28, came down, hit the big F5 on John Cena, and the world was his oyster from there. Basically, it seemed like, he was coming in and he was going to be the biggest star that WWE had, and he was going to be able to take anything that he wanted. As we play out from there, he had a big match with John Cena at Extreme Rules. I think Vince McMahon took, his sort of side projects and basically looked at it, instead of being like, Brock Lesnar is going to be a huge deal for us, we need to make this guy just some undefeated beast that's just defeating everybody. I think he wanted to take a shot at Dana White and sort of like the whole UFC and MMA culture as a whole, and say that, a professional wrestler was able to beat an MMA star, a former champion. So he had John Cena go over, even though, when you really think about that match, John Cena got his ass kicked for 20-25 minutes and just happened to be able to pull that lucky strikeout at the end and able to get the victory over Brock. But, from there, I don't even know how we got into it, but Brock Lesnar had that series of matches. He only had 3 of them, but, because they did one at SummerSlam and WrestleMania was the next, it seemed like that the whole angle lasted for 9 months. But basically, I don't even know how that whole Triple H deal got started, but he ended up losing it to Triple H at WrestleMania, and of course then we had the big match with CM Punk and then Undertaker. We finally were able to capitalize on Brock Lesnar coming in. Brock Lesnar was able to beat Undertaker, and he was able to defeat the streak. And now, here is the one thing that I don't like about this whole deal, is the way that they portrayed Monday, with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar coming down and pretty much having to convince Triple H to give him the match, is that basically Triple H, as the leader of the WWE, he's basically the guy who makes all the decisions. He's basically the guy who pulls all the levers to make everything happen. Just he can't really determine what's going to happen inside the ring. If he gives John Cena a shot at winning the title at the Money in the Bank, he has to believe that the guys that he's going to put in there, Randy Orton and Kane, are going to be able to overcome those odds and be able to do it. So now we have Triple H flipping out because he doesn't have control of his WWE Championship, and basically that's what the whole angle is going into SummerSlam. Now, if Triple H was able to look over his roster, why didn't he realize that he had Brock Lesnar on the roster? Why did Paul Heyman have to fly out, pick up why did Paul Heyman have to fly out, pick up Brock Lesnar, bring him down to the arena, when basically you could tell by Triple H's face that he was out of options. He didn't believe in Kane. He didn't believe in Randy Orton. He didn't want to give the shot to Roman Reigns because he felt that if Roman Reigns was able to defeat John Cena, he'd be in the same boat that he was in today. Why was it that Brock and Heyman had to come down there and convince him? It really didn't make sense that basically after Brock Lesnar broke Triple H's arm, broke his best friend Shawn Michaels' arm, and, Brock Lesnar quit the WWE in storyline and able to, make sense that he wasn't there forever. Why was it that, Triple H was the guy who actually brought Brock Lesnar back in there? He just sort of disguised it as, this is what's best for business. So come on down to the ring and you can be with us and I'll shake your hand and we'll take some photo ops and things like that. The whole Brock Lesnar thing to me has never really made sense. Why they're doing this. It seems to be that, everybody wants, John Cena to lose the title. Nobody wants to be wants John Cena to be the guy on top, because it seems that, since he won his first championship at WrestleMania 21 by defeating JBL, we've just seen John Cena be the champion forever and ever. He's on his 15th run as being either the WWE or the World Heavyweight Champion, and everyone wants this run to end. Well, guess what? As soon as this run ends, more than likely he's going to have that championship again. John Cena is not going to be retiring anytime soon. He's not going to be leaving the WWE, and anytime Vince McMahon feels that he's in a rut We've seen that he hasn't been able to create a big enough star that he thinks he can be on top and pull the WWE through the darkest days of the year. Everybody knows that January through April is golden times. But then, what happens after SummerSlam? Once you get into your Night of Champions, once you get into your Hell in the Cells, once you get into your what was last year's Battleground, once you get into that, people are just sort of like, well, when's the Rumble? That's when I want to get back into things. That's when he's going to put his golden child, John Cena, back up on top. If he loses this championship, he's going to get it again, and that's the one that's going to tie Ric Flair. That's going to make even more people want to jump off the bridge. And once he loses that championship, that's when they're going to give him another one, and he's going to be 17-time champion, something that nobody else in the wrestling business is going to be able to say that they have. I really think that Brock Lesnar is going to be the guy to defeat John Cena at SummerSlam. I think that is going to happen. Now you have to see, is he just going to turn around and is he just going to come back at Night of Champions and have a 1-month reign and he's going to lose it because they don't want to see what's going to happen. People already went ballistic when The Rock won the WWE Championship from CM Punk. I think some people just didn't want to see a part-timer win it. Some people were scared that they weren't going to have a WWE Championship at a house show. They weren't going to have your WWE Champion on Raw every week. I think they were able to pull through and they were able to do it. But how do you get Brock Lesnar from August and get him all the way to April in order to have him as your champion at WrestleMania? Are you going to go to Brock and say, we're just going to pay you whatever we want to pay you? Are you going to have Brock just basically say he's going to show up every other week and he'll do the pay-per-views in order to get there, and then we'll see Brock defeat people? I would love to see Brock in another Hell in the Cell match if he is champion at that time. And how they're able to pull that off. But I think that's just a match that really, really suits him. The match that he and Undertaker had back in the day was one of the best Hell in the Cells I believe there is out there. But I just have a lot of questions out there that haven't been answered. I think that everybody, wants this spoiler to be handed to you and see what's going to happen. But I want to see this play out. If Brock does win at SummerSlam, are they just going to pull the same deal that they did when he beat Undertaker and just have him disappear? I don't think Brock was on Raw after WrestleMania. I can't really remember. I remember being there. I don't really remember a whole lot of things happening except for being really pumped that Triple H was getting a shot at the championship at a match that never happened. I remember convincing myself just to mark out and go ballistic for Hulk Hogan because I'm not 100% sure if I'm ever going to be in an arena when they play the Real American again, and just I was going bananas in there. You can ask Justin, you can ask Ravi, you can ask Miguel. I just wanted to live that moment like Hogan was going to quit the next day and we were never going to see him again. But basically, those are what I'm thinking about SummerSlam. Obviously, I'm going to tell you to bet the house. Cena got to beat Brock at Extreme Rules 2012. I don't think there's any chance in the world that Cena's going to beat Brock again. I feel bad for Antonio Cesaro. Basically, I think that this was the plan for a long time, and I think Antonio Cesaro got used by Paul Heyman in order to be his mouthpiece, in order to have a spotlight on him on Monday Night Raw or on SmackDown, just basically come out and talk about Brock Lesnar and hype him up. I think that, Brock took one of the biggest titles in wrestling, and that was the streak at WrestleMania. The streak ending was the huge ordeal. You saw everybody's face. You heard the large gasp from the crowd. Nobody believed it was going to happen. I can honestly tell you, I was 50-50 into that match. I was watching it, but I really wasn't into it. He could have F5'd Undertaker 50 times, and I would have bet you on the 50th one that Undertaker was still going to kick out. I didn't think there was a chance in hell that Brock was going to win it. I thought that they were using him as sort of a special attraction, as a guy that on paper had a chance to beat him, but in mythology, there's no chance in hell that Undertaker's going to lose at WrestleMania. He's beat 21 other guys. He's beat Batista. He's beat Edge. He's beat Triple H. He's beat Shawn Michaels. He beat CM Punk. I'm not saying that Brock Lesnar is the less of a wrestler than those guys, but if he's beat all those other Hall of Famers, how in the world is he going to beat? I don't get it. I never will. But that was Vince's idea. Some people have said that basically he did it trying to help the network, or basically the people that hadn't already ordered the network in order to get WrestleMania would order the network in order to see it again as fast as possible. Maybe they would watch it before Raw, maybe they would watch it after Raw, after they heard the results. I know if you waited a week, they made it where you could sign up for a free trial, and then you were able to watch WrestleMania for free. So I don't know. I know it's going to be a good one. I know I'm pumped that I'm going to be going down there. Before I even knew that I was going to be meeting Stone Cold Steve Austin at the Access panels, I was pumped. And now I'm even more pumped. They held off Ambrose versus Rollins for me. Paige versus AJ should be a good match. Not that excited about the Usos against Ryback, but it is what it is. So peace out, everybody. I'm not that excited about Wyatt versus Jericho either. So yeah, but boom. 3 big matches. Get to meet Stone Cold Steve Austin. SummerSlam's going to be a hell of a day. Peace out, everybody.